Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Usayome Sale from Ways Primetime. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?
A special Tuesday morning to you and welcome to Ways Breakfast, hashtag What Are You Saying? The thought-provoking breakfast show for great enthusiasts and progressive minds. On this show, we explore fresh perspective, pressing discussions and inspiring stories through Mondays to Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., Monday to Friday at Official Upgrade TV on YouTube. Well, I am your one and only delectable Okikiola Taiwo Jalukmo, and I welcome you to the show this bright Tuesday morning. As you also know, I'm never here alone. I have one special guest my special anchor as always, because she's always too beautiful. I don't always know if I should call her guest or anchor because she's always bringing that energy and that vibe. Please presenting God's Beauty, Israel.
Baz. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning, God's Beauty. How are you doing?
I'm beautiful. How are you?
As always. So Oluchi is not here this morning, and I feel like I need to let the audience know that the reason why she's not here is because she's convocating. My girl is a first-class graduate of Guardians and Counseling in the University of Lagos, and today she's taking that crown. She's been so excited about shaking the VC this morning, so I'm so excited for her, and I'm wishing her the best of the best of the best. Godspeed, do you have anything to say to Oluchi?
Congratulations to you, Oluchi. I don't know why I feel like I should tell her welcome to the labor market, because you know, it's one thing to go to school and all of that, and when you come out, you now face the reality, you understand? So yeah, congratulations.
But I think that she's halfway through, because she has gotten into the labor market already while graduating. So that's the kind of powerhouse that we have here on the show. So if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV, click that subscribe button now, like and share the link. I want to say that today we're talking about a topic that is quite sensitive, but we're going to be involving parents, caregivers, people, and members of the society that we all want to know. These past stories, I've been seeing so many videos that have been trending, and we're wondering, why do kids face disciplinary methods that are very extreme? And as we all know that maybe parents and caregivers and even members of the society all want to ensure that children grow up to be happy, healthy, and well-adjusted. But when it comes to discipline, the lines get really blurry. But how do we balance the need to teach children right from wrong with the risk of not causing harm or damaging their self-esteem? Today, we'll explore the importance of discipline in child development, the risk of over-discipline and under-discipline, and the challenges of finding that delicate balance. We'll also discuss some of the most effective positive discipline techniques and how parents and caregivers can tailor their approach to the individual child's need. We'll go on a break right now, and when we return, we'll take you first through the top stories across the globe, and then we'll go into the topic proper. Please stay with us.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, Addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light from my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we'll analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population, and with little or no meaningful engagement, leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.
Glad to have you back from that break. Now let us take a look at the news from the pages of today's newspaper. Today we'll highlight the top stories from The Punch and to introduce our newly found international news, The Guardian International. So I'll allow God's Beauty to take us on that.
Top left of the masthead, we have the Lucy Liu. There has never been an easy road for me. So literally on that is just an exclusive interview with the Hollywood star discussing her journey through challenges in the entertainment industry. Top right of the masthead, we have the squat, key to long-term health. And that's talking about just experts highlighting the simple yet powerful exercise as a cornerstone of physical fitness and mobility. Honestly, when you do all those squatting thing, yeah, I think it's very effective, but your legs are definitely going to tell you. Your legs are definitely going to tell you. All right, the main central headline, that's beneath the masthead, we have from schools to potholes, huge expansion of AI in public sector. And that's just on the UK government as they plan to heavily invest in artificial intelligence, aiming to revolutionize public services like education and infrastructure though concerns remain about regulation and social impact. All right, so next to that, we have the, that's by the far right column, we have the strong winds expected to fan LA fires. You see that the news is still carrying it. And according to this newspaper, it actually records 16 deaths, actually. So yesterday, we were talking about 5, today is 16. But a lot of properties have been destroyed, actually. All right, then we have the next one, that's underneath it. We have advice. A bit fluey, if so, should you still test for COVID? And that's just talking about, advising people on, the flu symptoms from COVID-19 as a seasonal illness overlap. So I think this COVID-19 thing is still on ground. And that's why there is, what do they call these things now? Things that people can actually take for them to still get better, and just in case you are down with COVID. Well, the one I want to talk on is just the one that we have here where we say it's from schools to potholes. That's the major headline there. From schools to potholes, huge expansion of AI in public sector. So the UK government is planning to invest heavily on artificial intelligence, that's AI, and expand its use in public services. This means AI will be used for tasks like spotting potholes on roads and helping teachers focus on teaching by handling repetitive administrative tasks. Now, this plan is part of a $2 billion initiative to grow and regulate AI over the next 5 years. Now, why does this matter? It is important because it can make public services more efficient and innovative. For example, roads could be repaired faster, schools could run smoother, and other public services could be improved. Now, but there's risks involved, and that's one thing about AI, right? So the risks involved, we have people worried that using AI would lead to privacy issues, which is obvious. And that's why most people, I mean, I think there was a time we were having a conversation around this. Amira said one of the reasons why she would not literally, put in her email or want to sign into anything is because she don't want in the future now somebody will not start, checking through. And I think there was a time we were also having a conversation where I think one of the expert guests we had was telling us that there are some things that you should not press. For example, if you are in a website and you see those things that will come up here, that will tell you, that will show you accept cookies, don't accept cookies. I remember that person saying, don't accept it, because by the time you do, that website can be able to, trace many of the things that you have on your phone. They'll be able to, get more information. So that's one issue. Then the next one is job losses, which is like literally what everybody knows, job displacement. That's one thing about once we have AI on everything. I mean, I like the good things they are planning to do. They are trying to get AIs that will be able to construct roads, that will also help teachers, in the administrative column now. But the thing is, once you do all of those things, then the people that are on construction, what would happen to them? Exactly, what would happen to them? Then the teachers too, that means you would just need limited teachers. Do you get what I'm saying? Because since you're already using AI to just, cover up. So honestly speaking, I just hope that at the end of the day, they find the balance. So in as much as they're trying to ensure that, things run smoother in their country, I think they should also look at the fact that, okay, some of these people would actually be off jobs and all of that. They should just find a balance. That's all I have for you.
Today we're also talking about balance in the case of, child discipline. Do we over-discipline, under-discipline, or is there anything like perfect discipline, basically? But here's me taking you through the Nigerian newspaper. We'll be taking the Punch this morning, and the headline reads, Inside Story, How Hubris Intrigues Power Play Sealed Obasa's Fate. Deputy Speaker Miranda sworn in as Lagos' first female speaker. Sanwo-Olu claims innocence. I'm wondering the insights of that story. But below that, we also have coronation date fixed as Alaafin designate gets staff of office. Besides that, we have gospel singer arrested with severed corps members' head in Nasarawa. My God. Tax bills. Senate meets federal government team. Plans public hearing. Above that, we have again Boko Haram strikes in Borno, kills 40, abducts cause. Besides that, we have port rehabilitation delayed despite $700 million loan. And another story here reads, tariff hike. Telcos, ICT firms all bank 1.969 trillion naira. And the last but not the least story here says, depots raise petrol prices to $9.50 per litre. Let me talk about this gospel singer thing. It keeps getting worse that most of the time women bear the brunt of this kind of people. Right. And I saw it on Twitter when they were mentioned that this person is not a Yahoo boy, this person is well covered, this person is this person is that. The person that has killed her is a gospel singer. I mean, in quote. In quote, they can consider this person somebody that was maybe called by God to sing and bring forth like messages to the world through music. You need to even go and listen to, go and check his page on TikTok. You see that you actually think this person is close to God. For real. So it's so sad to see that a core member, like what are you doing with a core member up to the point where you will now kill the core member? It's another thing. Anyways, I think I get overly emotional when I see this kind of stories because you now start to imagine how deadly people can be. So do I trust anybody? When they talk about trust building, I think we have spoken about building trust, building this. Please, I would say don't trust anybody. Don't, like, cancel everything I've said about trust. Do not trust anybody. Anybody can be your enemy. You have to keep your guard up like 24/7. This whole issue of Boko Haram also, look at it now. Boko Haram has got to strike Borno. We keep talking about insecurity, reducing. 40 people is not a small number. If you put 40 people in this studio, you will consider it overcrowded. So now killing 40 and still going ahead to abduct certain people is just beyond. I think that at some point, I'm always tired of reading the Nigerian newspaper because it's always full of bad news, bad news. One bad news to the other. And I get drained just thinking about how we can even manage this. And I think on Prime Time yesterday, they spoke about Obasa's fate and how he was impeached and all of that stuff. And I don't know how to necessarily put together. He is a 5-time sitting member of Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. And I'm wondering how that 5-time, what was... I'm sure everybody, it wasn't a unanimous decision, but I'm sure everybody had their different reasons in mind while they voted him to be impeached and all of that. So, but that's a story I'm looking forward to read like over time. Well, that's all we have on today's newspaper for the both international and the Nigerian newspaper. We'll go on a break right now. When we return, we'll come back with today's topic for now. Stay with us.
Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population and with little or no meaningful engagement leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.
Looking to take your business to the next level through partnerships? Then join us every Thursday at 10 a.m. for Partner Up.
Whether you're an entrepreneur, marketing, sales, or partnership professional, Partner Up is here to give you the tools you need to succeed.
From in-depth interviews with industry experts
to real-world case studies of successful partnership strategies that drive innovation and business growth.
We dive deep into what it takes to form successful partnerships.
Thursdays, 10 a.m.
Don't miss Partner Up.
Welcome back to the show. Today's topic is quite sensitive as it means different things to different people or groups on what child discipline means. Well, then brings me to the question, where do we draw the line when it comes to child discipline? We've seen the news talking about, how a 3-year-old was assaulted by a certain teacher. The beating for me was just way up and above. And I was wondering, why is this thing so terrible that people cannot train? Like the fact that he's a 3-year-old, I'm expecting that his brain development is like still developing. It's still developing. And at some point, they were even mentioning that we don't even fully develop until we're like 25, I think, for women. And then for men, I think 19 or thereabout, or maybe I think boys. I'm not sure of the age group, but I know that it's within, after your teens, that you are fully developed. So I'm wondering what the brain capacity of a 3-year-old is to assimilate numbers, and for that reason now cause such harm to the child. Because the way she was banging the head of the child, it was more like she was out to make sure that his brain stopped functioning. Because I don't know if she was hitting it, to that thing that they say they are hitting it to fix the knot in the brain, as if they were the one that screwed it there. So she kept on hitting the child consistently, asking him to answer something that he clearly could not understand. So I was very angry, and at some point I saw that they arrested her, and then she said it was her child, and I still felt like it did not give her any right to hit the child in such a bad manner, especially on the head. I remember when my dad used to mention that if he's going to discipline us, he's going to make sure that it's on the bum. And I don't know how he came about that, but the first and last time my dad hit me, it was really hard on the butt, and he used slippers, that Dunlop slippers, and he just gave me, I think, about 5 or 6 strokes. But I can promise you that I remember those strokes. I still remember how it felt till now. And I felt like that is him sort of creating that balance. He's more of a talker than somebody that goes ahead to hit or spank you. And then even when he decided to do that, he still thought about the best way to not cause maybe mark. That's why I said I don't know how he came about that technique, but it doesn't leave mark on your butt when he hits you, when he's done, and then he chose the Dunlop slippers as the weapon, maybe not a hard slippers or even a belt. So I'm wondering, a lot of people will find that now as maybe assault. People will now find that as over-discipline. So if I would ask you, before I sort of explain a bit about what under-discipline, over-discipline could mean, if I would ask you what you think about child discipline, what would you tell me?
I mean, just as the word goes, right, or the word implies, child discipline, just, ensuring that you discipline your child. But now it's the method that, you go with, the discipline that matters. You get what I'm saying? Now, I would never for any reason say that don't flog your child, right? But what I would say is, whatever you are doing, ensure that you're not causing harm. You ensure that you're passing the discipline, you're doing the right thing, you're passing, you're making the corrections. Because I feel like that's something that our parents really do not know how to, right? They'll just tell you, okay, why did you say, Chibai said you should not do this thing. Why did you do it? Oh yeah, come here. And they're flogging you. You've not really kind of explained why the child should not do this. And I feel like that's one thing about teens, right? They are always curious. Why don't you want me to do this thing? The fact that you've not explained why I should not do it, the more reason why I'm going to do it. Do you understand? I mean, like, that's children for you. So, I mean, as an adult, you should understand these things. So when you're disciplining the child, let me give this very simple instance, right? So I remember there's a time I did something very wrong in the house, and I've never done that before. The first thing you hear my daddy say is, no problem, today is Christmas. The next time you do it, I'm going to flog you. I mean, it just records in my head that, okay, this thing I've done is definitely bad, right? Sometimes when we leave that particular time, right? And we get on talking and all. I now come back to it. I'm like, well, Papa, why did you say I should not do that thing? What happened? Was there anything wrong with it? It's then you start explaining to you that no, it's just that if you do it like this, it might harm you. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think communicating would actually help a whole lot better. But that takes us to you understanding your child. Because there are some children that you don't necessarily need to communicate. Only just show them the cane. Their brain resets automatically. Do you get? So I think when you understand your child, you'll be able to now know what discipline or the disciplinary measures to use to take care of the child. That's what I would say. But I would never tell anyone not to flog his or her child, because the truth is, most of the time, if you check, I mean, each and every one of us now, you see that it was one correction to the other. Probably when you saw belts from your mom or the way your mom used to lock door, that's what literally, you know, change your mindset about certain things. So of course, I will not say that you should not, you should take out flogging and all, but what I would say is ensure that whatever disciplinary measure you're using is not harmful to the child.
Okay, well, for me, if I would say something about child discipline, I'm more of a talker, shouter, whatever. And this eyes thing, I'm very good at it. If you just do something, I'm like, and then I see that kids sort of respond to that by moving away from that thing. Sometimes they go back to it, and I can promise you that it can be frustrating.
Sure.
But I still keep on trying to give them that, you have gone again, right? Right? But it gets to the point where you know that children differ, and there are some who are more practical in pulling things, destroying things, than some who just, okay, they want to get there, but they'll first look at you to be sure that it is allowed. And after a while, if they see that you have given them that look or you have complained about it, they'll leave there. But there are kids that will intentionally watch you enough to make sure that you are not seeing them, and they'll go and do that thing. And it's going to be that thing that you
Told them not to do.
Sometimes you might not even tell them not to do it, but it's that thing that will pain you, like breaking your laptop, your work laptop.
My God.
That can be really frustrating, where you now feel that flogging will do it. But as at the time, I don't really believe in flogging, because I feel like I've experienced flogging. Did it shape me to be
The person
more, maybe more alert or something? No, I think it got me more scared to do things. I think he limited my own self-esteem to think that if I'm not able to communicate this thing, I'm going to, or if I communicate this thing, I'm going to be flogged. And then I was always scared of the cane. So why do you think that, that's why I'm like, flogging might not do it for me, but also gentle parenting has now had like a different view of something.
This is how I see it here. I feel like for every stage in a child's life, it now determines the kind of measures you would use to, you know, correct the child. So a child of 3-year-old, that's slap is too heavy. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, I do not agree with what she has done.
Exactly.
I'm just saying that flogging sometimes is also an extreme measure.
I get it. That's why I'm talking about the stage now. So it depends on the stage the child is in that will determine the kind of, you know, discipline measures to use. Now, so a child or someone that is already a teenager, for example, I don't see a reason why you're actually flogging a teenager. I'm being honest. Because if you've been doing the flogging before then, and you're also building your gentle parenting, that's communication, right? You see that when you have, if you've probably done all the things you're supposed to do as a parent, right? Now, it's someone that is a teenager, right? I don't think that's the time you're supposed to be flogging that child, that teenager. I think that's the time where you're supposed to be communicating. Oh, this is why I say you should not do this thing. This is why I say you should not go to that boy's house. Do you understand? Communication. So it depends on the stage the child is in, you know, that determines the kind of discipline to, you know, provide. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So
yes,
like that's how I see it.
Okay. So for people, it is believed that, you know, discipline is essential, I mean, for children's development, behaviors, respect, and all of that stuff. And there's this thing called under-discipline. I don't know if you know that, where you think that they will eventually learn. So you allow them you allow those things just sleep. You just, they destroy maybe an appliance, and you're like, do not do that, in a calm voice. And then they break another thing, and you're like, I said do not do that last week. And then you see that, does this thing help them understand boundaries? When they say, this is mommy's cup, do not touch mommy's cup. This is mommy's laptop, do not touch mommy's laptop. And that's the time that that child will go and touch the laptop, because they just feel like, well, she's not going to do anything about it. So, of course, I have the right to do it. And then you see that, apart from people having, like, children who are this active, they now have children who are calmer. They just allow things slide. And I saw one other video. I think they're going to show a picture and I think a Twitter post where this woman took this child. I think her mom died. They took this child and her whole face is all swollen from beating. I mean, from beating, wound marks, from iron marks, from everything. And she just said that the girl know the year word. And look at how small this child is. And looking at people talking about the child, they say she's a calm child and she just does maybe when the children will always be children, where they take pencil where they're not supposed to take pencil, but she will pick up this child and necessarily hit her against the wall and try to inflict marks on the child. So that for me is not even categorized as over-discipline. I just see it as hatred, and
that person is traumatized. She's
definitely
passing.
It's not even trauma.
No, she is.
It's not trauma. Sometimes
is.
it's just the way their mind. I always believe that in the world there's the good, the bad, the ugly. That person that did that to that child is an ugly, not just ugly of the face, but ugly of the mind, the soul, the spirit. And looking at that God created all of us, I'm suspecting that God did not create this particular person.
No, I think this person is suffering.
It's just deadly. So I just look at people talking about under-discipline, people talking about over-discipline, that over-discipline can cause maybe rude behaviors, or I mean low self-esteem, all of that. So while under-discipline can cause rude behaviors, child not understanding boundaries and having lack of respect. So if I'm going to say that I want to discipline my child, I think that I would do more of talking, timeouts, screen time limits, and all of that stuff. While it works some, it doesn't work for some. And that brings us to understanding your child.
So, simple.
How do parents understand their child? What do you think that they should do, especially for parents who possibly did not enjoy childhood?
That's number one.
And now
problem.
the internet is the one teaching them how to train their child.
Taking it to that video, that picture that we just saw now, I'm very sure that woman is definitely passing through something. There's nothing anybody on this earth wants to tell me. Do you understand? She's either traumatized, or she probably has a different definition of what child discipline is. You know, there's just something wrong with the mind and what she has learned over the years. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, one of the reasons why you see our parents, train us a certain way is because they don't know better. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I remember there's this, my friend then, when I was still like a bit young. In short, this is not even a friend thing. I remember when I was in secondary school, I hear a lot of my mates say, oh, if I do this thing now, my daddy go flog me belts. In my head, I'm like, they flog people belts. They don't flog me. Like, I don't know if you get. Even like normal cane that we hardly have that in the house. Do you get? I hear people say, oh, my mommy flogged me with broom. They flog you broom? Do you get what I'm saying? And that's because probably their parents don't know better, or they feel like this is a better mechanism that can work, right? Now, this is how I see things, or this is how I'm going to train my child. I will flog you. I'm not going to take. See, I remember the time I was teaching, right? And there's something my headmistress will always say, and this is it. She'll say, Miss Beauty knows how to flog very well. But at the same time, she has the medicine or the antidote to ensure that these children still come around her. I literally walk through the streets of Ajegule with every time I hear Miss Beauty, Miss Beauty. It's not because of I'm not a disciplined person or whatever. The truth is, in as much as the amount of cane that I flog you, it's still the amount of, happiness and all of those things I'll bring.
Like Yoruba will say that you use
one hand, exactly, to draw the child, you use one hand to
the other hand.
Exactly. That's what it is.
But let me put this. I taught in a private school for a year and a half before I got into school. Out of boredom, I would say, but it was like an experience for me. And then getting to school, I saw how they flogged these kids. So I decided to do gentle, nurturing, love, and all of that. And I can tell you for a fact that these kids still tested me. They still made sure that I was like, So I felt like, so what other methods do I ensure that they understand boundaries and stuff? So I bought a ruler.
Okay.
And I told them, for anyone that tests me, this ruler will kiss the back of their hands. And they're like, how? And then, they were making fun of it until I tried it with one person. And then I just hit one.
Oh, sure,
the cry was out of this world. And I was like, you know what? Let's step out. And then I went to buy sweet biscuits and all of that stuff. And I just looked at it that, okay, one person has already experienced what it means when I'm disciplining them. So anytime I say, I'm going to discipline you, you will kiss my ruler. Everybody will just put themselves in place.
That's it.
I feel like there lies the balance.
That's it.
But some people also have anger issues. like sitting somewhere in their heart where they feel like their intention is not to hit the child.
Right.
Now, I'm talking about people who don't have the intention to hit the child. Their intention is not to hit the child, but at the end of the day, they will end up doing that. But do they take precautions? It's almost like every time they now want to warn the child again, you know what I did to you the last time. Don't get me to that point. But should parents not take the cue that they should be more mentally aware of the things that these things can do to children?
Of course.
And then in the cases where we now go to the law, talking about the law right now, in the cases where we go to the law and we ask that, I saw where she got arrested, she was taken to the police station, and I think in some news they said that she wasn't found guilty, and they asked her to pay 200,000 naira bail. What do you mean that she was not found guilty of assaulting that child? The fact that they're even tagging it as discipline, I don't consider that as discipline. I consider that as assault. Like, she wanted to make sure that that child possibly died from that banging, because that's what I would say. She's a murderer. She had something sitting in her heart saying that kill from the head, different methods. If I was in front of her, I probably would hit her like that so that she knows how bad. It's not even the pain. It's how bad she thinks that she's doing to that. She's doing a lot of things to that child. The more I watch the video, the more I hate the woman. And maybe, I've never been the kind of person to want to hate somebody, because I always say that there's too much love in my heart to even give that space for hatred. But when I see people who do these kind of things, I feel like the only energy that they need is people that hate them enough not to want to see them. And maybe if there is enough people who actually see these things as bad, because there's a guy sitting next to her, or I think a lady, and this person is literally unbothered, pressing the phone. And the person that did the video, maybe the person was trying to send an awareness message, but I will literally be doing that video, wiping that woman better slap from like, those things that when they tell you that I will give you one very dirty slap, that's what I would have given that woman. The person is just sitting next to her, not doing anything. And I wonder if the person is even related to the child, or this is another teacher just sitting, not caring about what's happening to the child next to him. And this woman is looking with a stern face, wicked face, hitting the child to be reading 1, 2, 3 like it's by force. And that's why I always also think about homeschooling. I'm so sorry that I'm very angry.
See the way you just...
I'm so sorry that I'm shouting
just analyze this thing.
If you touch my child, if I bring my child to your school and you touch my child by mistake, I'm not even saying intentionally.
Are you saying your child should not be disciplined?
My child is already disciplined from home. That's how great a mom that I am. So if my child comes to your school, you are lucky and you are blessed to have that child.
I hear. I actually beg to differ.
No, I will allow you to differ, but I'm telling you that I am that parent that you know that this child came from a good home. This child is loved. That thing that they tell you that I'm loved at home. Yes. This child is loved at home. This child is supported at home. This child is safe at home. This child is well nurtured at home. So you have to treat my child the way it is. But that brings me to schools also. I want you to tell me why you don't agree with what I've said. But we'll go on a break, and when you come back, you tell me why you don't agree with what I've said. But whether you agree or not, if my child comes to your school and you treat my child like trash, I will deal with you. We'll go on a break right now. When we come back, God's Beauty is going to tell us why she differs from what I've said. Stay with us.
Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population, and with little or no meaningful engagement, leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. WAYS, What Are You Saying has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light for my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we will analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
Welcome back to the show. I've been expressing my grievances with the videos that we have been watching. We've also been able to sort of talk about the kind of ways that we can balance with child disciplines and what we consider extremes. For me, I vote for gentle parenting, but God's Beauty has said that she doesn't necessarily agree with that. And Emil, I would like her to tell me why she thinks that gentle parenting will not work.
So I am not saying it will not work. I am just saying that even the Bible that said you should use your cane, I mean, it's not stupid now. Do you get what I'm saying? So the thing is, just like you said, I wish you can actually say that in Europe. I would like to hear it, where you say that you flog with your right hand and you bring the child closer with your left hand.
I know you're about to disgrace me with that Yoruba. I'll be like,
you see why Mira is supposed to be here?
Owo city, waffing far, no. God, I've been embarrassed.
The Lord is your strength. But back on it.
Tiba fowo si ba omo soro. I'ma fi owo to famora.
Famora.
Yes.
Is it famora? But back on it, right? I just feel like it's important that in as much as you're talking and communicating, children are different. I've met children that you don't necessarily need to flog them. I'm one of those persons. You don't need to flog me. Just shout on me. I'm okay. I go around, go do what I'm supposed to do.
But do you know some people consider shouting as extreme measures
Exactly.
of discipline?
That is why it is important that you first of all know your child. When you know your child, you know exactly what to say, how to say it, what to do. Let me give you this gist. When I was still a teenager, right? I think I was still in secondary school. Now, my mom, right? Mama would send you on an errand. She would say, oh, that plates, they're too dirty. Go and wash them. You know, there are so many in the kitchen. Trust me, if you don't do it, she's going to do it. And that's what pains me. Is the fact that she doesn't, it's more like she not send you. You think say me, I not get hand. Me say if I get hand though. Because they send you, me say I can't do it myself. And that's actually what kills me because I'm like, no, this one I've tried. Especially when she has, probably gone to church, she has done the cooking, she has probably arranged the house and all of those things. And now, only little thing that, my conscience going to disturb me. I also be the one to now beg her, Mama, please let me just do it. I'm sorry. Do you get? So my mom is not someone to come and shout or stress you. You say you cannot do it, Abby. Don't worry, I'll do it myself. Even till now, that's how she is. That's why if I get to the house and she say, the way I'm looking at this place, I don't really like her. Will you help me arrange it? I go sharp. Or better still, I'll tell her, don't worry, Mama, give me an hour, I'll do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because she already understands the kind of child. She doesn't do that. She doesn't do the same thing for my junior sister. That one said no send her. If you say you don't do it, if you say do this for me, that one will tell me I cannot do it. And that's how it is. So we see that we are different. And now this how she speaks to that one that makes that one, you know, do whatever she wants. That one said, me, no matter even what I tell her, she wants to do it, she'll do it. She doesn't want to do it, she'll leave it. Because we are different. But she now, as a mother, she has understood that, okay, I have 2 different children. And how do I, you know, take care of them? There's nothing I mean, there are things that she does that really, I mean, you know, go move me, but it's a move that I want to go and do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So first of all, is understanding your child. Once you understand the children you are with, right, then you now know the kind of things to say. This one on a coconut head, I go get flog and bring out cane first for him to do it. Do you get? Well, there are some that you don't necessarily need to do. You just communicate with the person. So again, I will not, like I said before, I would not say that nobody should, you know, I mean, taking it back to what you said earlier, right? In a school setting, first of all, who is the teacher, right? I like to have good, you know, conversations here with the teacher and the owner of the school. Once I have that, we are good to go. Trust me, my child is in a good hand. I feel like that's a problem many parents don't. That's something that many parents don't know. Do you understand what I'm saying? When I was a teacher, okay, apart from the fact that it's a normal thing for me to always want to talk to people and all, I've always had good relationship with every of my parents. Do you get what I'm saying? Every of my parents. So it makes me understand. And do you know the interesting part? They actually come to the school with their problems. And that's why I tell Rashida May wash plate. You know, agree wash am. You say Rashida May, you know wash am. Rashida, come here. Only the come here alone. That one brain don't reset. I don't know if you get it. So I don't think there's any time I've heard any of my parents say that, oh, Miss Beauty, they flog my children too much, or Miss Beauty, no, they really do. In short, they don't flog their children anymore. They carry the problem and bring it. They just bring it to the school.
Everything that you have said now is gentle parenting. It's not.
Is it?
Yes. When I was talking about like flogging, hitting, I feel like those things are like really extreme measures to have to do to a child, and that's what you find in most schools where one teacher will have like 5 canes.
If it is flogging without communicating, that's where I have a problem with. Okay. But I am not saying you should not take out flogging. Flog the child, but at the same time ensure that you correct the child.
In what way?
You have cane.
So you flog on the
Yes, on the palm.
Okay.
Or in the butt, just like your father does. Do you get what I'm saying? But like having to flog a child anyhow, you see those people that flog anyhow. I remember that I used to have one teacher like that when I was in secondary school. They just carry the cane and be doing like this, pack. To them, they're actually flogging you and doing you well. To me, I mean, you're wounding me and all. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think flogging in the right, you know, the right places would actually help. But they should not take out flogging.
Okay, so there was one other video that I saw online where the man went to the school to hit the teacher, like he bit a very
I have an
good
issue
number
with that, actually.
with the teacher when the child came home to report that she was also badly beaten, and he saw some marks on the child's body. If I was the father or the mother of the girl, I would have gone to school and first asked. This is my first approach to everything.
Tell me.
Hello, good afternoon. That's it. Oh, hello, good afternoon. So my child came home and said that these injuries were inflicted on her. Can I know why? If you're now being rude about it, or you're now telling me that she deserved it, she did this, without necessarily communicating with me and asking that, no, I did not mean to. This was why I did this, because I was trying to correct her, and she said this, she said that, she was being rude to me, she said some insultive words. If you're trying to prove to me that my own training did not even reach 50% for me to bring her to school, then I will now bring in my badass nature to the school.
So this is it here. In as much as I allow you or I give you the space to discipline my child, ensure that you don't inflict any injury on her. I've heard of someone that I think back then when I was in secondary school as well, where a teacher flogged a child here, you know, this place, and somehow started bleeding internally, and that's how that child died, I think after like a day or so.
But you know, you could mistakenly beat on the palm and it hits here also.
That's why you have to be intentional. When it comes to children, you have to be intentional. You cannot wake up one morning and be saying that, oh, the child did this. And that's why, I mean, there's something that I really like in certain schools, but it's schools that are intentional as well. They look at the kind of teachers that they are bringing into the school. Apart from qualifications and all of that.
Policies.
How sure are you that this person is someone that really loves children? Because if you notice, people that love children, there's a certain way they go about their discipline. Do you understand? unlike some people that they really care less about children, people that really love children, there's just a way they do their discipline thing around them. Do you get what I'm saying? So once you're able to get those kind of people, trust me, you will not always have those kind of issues. Do you get? So, but when you bring in someone that cares so less, the person is just there for the money, you will keep having issues like that.
Okay, so let's really talk about what law and order is in place for schools who this crimes has been perpetuated. Yes. And the law in general, like the fact that they arrested her, took her to the police station, and it was said that she was not guilty and only asked her to pay 200,000 fine or bail, if I would put it like that. Now she pays that money, gets out of the station, and goes ahead to find maybe another school where she's taken again. Not all schools are informed about browsing, going to the internet. Like some job interviews where they'll ask you to give them your social media handles, your LinkedIn and all of that, so that they can do like a comprehensive view of what kind of person you are, the kind of posts you have made in the past, and if you are even a good fit for that position. But you still find a lot of other schools who these things will not be videoed. These things will not be captured. Even the principal might consider what the lady is doing appropriate. So how do you think that we can put in maybe law and order in schools that are registered under the government? And when this kind of cases are also reported to the police station, what measures do you think, or what policies or law do you think that they should put in place for this kind of people?
Okay.
I'm asking you because you read law.
No, I feel you. The thing is, I mean, all of the names for crimes are actually there. We have manslaughter, assault, and all of these things, right? Now, again, it depends on how they actually even see things. Do you get what I'm saying? One thing is for the law to be there. I mean, the law is actually against corporal punishment. But is it still happening? Yes. And if probably she has, and a country like Nigeria, I'm so sorry, but we somehow don't follow through to the law. Once somebody has a certain amount of money and you pay certain kind of persons, case closed, church agbasala. Do you understand? I mean, church has ended, so everybody goes back to their house. So it is not really, I mean, it is, like I said, it's one thing for us to have the laws and all of that. Just like you said, 200,000 naira was, the fine that she has to pay, and they go back. What do you think should happen? The truth is, again, even if it is assault here, and I can't really remember what the punishment is again for that. But like, there's a punishment for that, right? So if at the end of the day, even with the punishment, she will still come out one way or the other. And when she does, the journey continues. Yeah, it's not like it's like something of rape where it's life imprisonment or murder where they have to kill you too. So these crimes that you want to commit her for is something that at the end of the day she'll still come out. Give it a year, maybe a few months, 6 months, 3 months, or 4 months, or fine. Then she's out. So really, I'm sorry, but there's no good news on that.
It's important that we have to end this discussion, but these things keep happening. But I'll always say that, I mean, the key to finding a balance between discipline and nurturing is ensuring that your child feels safe, loved, and supported, while also learning important life skills. Parents and caregivers should consider the child's age, just like my co-anchor has rightly said, individual needs and developmental stage when determining the most effective discipline approach. Positive discipline techniques such as positive reinforcements, like I said, redirection, and natural consequences can be highly effective in promoting positive behaviors and minimizing negative outcomes. That's all we have for today on today's topic. Thank you, for joining us to talk about this issue. I hope that woman gets arrested over and over and over again. Let her keep paying bail till time ends. But yes, thank you for this insightful contribution that you have joined us to do. We'll see you again tomorrow. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Usayome Sale from Ways Primetime. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?